Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 27 in season number 8 of the NOFSRL Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We're here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Rays, Dies, and Tubing 400. This a 32-lap race around the world's greatest speedway, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And today we're going to crown a crown jewel winner here today. Of course, the championship has already been clinched by Nathan Baird as he sealed the deal at Darlington 2 races early last week. So that is going to leave us in a situation where this acts as a special event or an exhibition race. These guys are simply going for the race win. And we have a lot of guys starting up front who would love to get that race win in one of the crown jewel events of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And another thing, while the Drivers' Championship and the Rookie of the Year have already been sealed, the Owners' Championship is a different story. So we're going to go ahead and give you guys the points in the Owners' Championship. This is how they line up in the Owners' Championship coming into this event here today. Titan Fury Motorsports, 278 points towards the championship. Zidell Motorsports is 7 points behind. Wade Enterprises, 11 points behind. Hamill Racing Enterprises is 27 points behind. American Motorsports, 29 points behind. And Full Throttle Motorsports, 32 points behind. Those are all the teams who have a mathematical chance at winning the Owners' Championship. However, those last three are most likely not going to have a chance once we get to Homestead next week. You get 17 points if the driver on your team wins the race, and 15 for second, 14 for third, and so on. It's 1 point per position except for the race win where you get a bonus point. And it is the highest finishing driver on a race team that represents the team, not the average finish of all the team members. So, say Josh Marzak finishes second, and Mark Davidson won the race, Tanker Motorsports would get 17 points, and American Motorsports would get 15 points, regardless of where the rest of their team members finished in the race. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. We're not really going to focus on that too much throughout this event, because the race win is, of course, the most important thing, and the driver starting on the pole would love to get that race win. Matt Dallio has not won a Napa Fan race in over 2 years. Won the pole position yesterday in qualifying for the Indianapolis event. And he gets the privilege of starting alongside Colton Yo, an uncharted driver on the front row here for this prestigious race. We're going to quickly go over the driver standings right here. Nathan Baird, of course, of us, already clinched the championship, 759 points. John Hart second, 99 behind. Wyatt Quell, 107 behind. Mark Davis and Justin Roberts both tied 111 behind coming into today's event. Battle's pretty much on for second place at this point. Of course, it is on for second place at this point because nobody can get the first before the end of next week. Nathan Baird, already your champion in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series for 2019. The cars are ready to roll off here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Like I mentioned, Matt Dallio starting on the pole position alongside Colton Yo, uncharted driver there in the number 98 machine. And of course, with this kind of being an exhibition type race, considering that the championship has already been clinched, big opportunity for both of these drivers. Of course, Matt Dallio has not won in 2 years on Napa Fan. Colton Yo has never won a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race before. And he's looking to still become the first uncharted driver to win a race this season. We have actually not had a season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series without an uncharted driver winning since, I believe it would be season 2. That was quite some time. And, the way things have been going this season, it may end up staying that way. Mark Davidson is alongside Emily Anderson. And of course, Emily Anderson, she'll be returning to the Turkey Hill Truck Series for her third season over there, even though she's a rookie over here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. She's definitely a veteran over there, and let's see if she can gain some momentum heading into that championship. Josh Marzak almost won last week in the Southern 500. Could not get around Seth Cole for the race victory. He's still going for his first ever non-restricted plate track win on Napa Fan. He's alongside Watkins Glen winner Julius Anderson, Matthew Phillips, and Zidell Motorsports with Nicholas Samadia right there in the 8th position, starting right there. And we mentioned mention that because this championship battle for the owners is very tight. Wade Enterprises has John Andrews starting 9th and Wyatt Quayle starting alongside him. Mitchell Henderson alongside the first of the Titan Fury guys, Brad Stover, who was runner-up in this race last year. There's Alexander Rowe and Sebastian Kukulon, a Wade driver and a Titan Fury driver there in row number 6. So it's going to actually row number 7, excuse me. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see where those guys end up finishing in relation to everybody else. We could be seeing Zidell Motorsports take the Owners' Championship lead after this event heading in the Homestead next week. So we'll have to see how that all shakes up. But either way, the green flag is out, and we are racing in the Rays, Dies, and Tubing 400 from Indianapolis. Well, Matt Delio is ready to win a race here today. Off to the jump on the start of the race. For second, Josh Marzak on Mark Davidson. Looking to clear him for the second position. He will do so. It's Matt Delio, Josh Marzak, Mark Davidson. John Andrews is up to the 4th position. We got 3 wide. Fisher G, Alexander Rowe, and Colton Yo slipping up on the outside. Did not get a good start in that outside lane. Matt Delio, however, with the benefit of those guys battling for second place, able to pull away enough that he can go ahead and lead lap number 2. Josh Marzak in second. Matthew Phillips looking to get a run here on John Andrews. Unable to get the run at the moment. Mitchell Henderson is here in the 25. They're side by side for the 6th position between Alexander Rowe and Mark Davidson. We're expecting a one-stop race in this event here today, about a 20-lap fuel window, so that'll put them past halfway for when they will need to make a pit stop. Matt Delio has led both laps so far here in the Rays, Dies, and Tubing 400. Nice clean start here. I believe last year we had a wreck on the first lap of the event. Great to get through the first couple of corners without any incident. And we're starting the single file out up front, and that's usually how the racing goes here at Indianapolis. Very similar to how it is at Pocono. This is the type of racing I kind of like. You have to work for those passes, not passing every single lap. It's not a predictable pass for the lead every single time. These guys have to work for it, and that's what I like about it. You have to earn your win here at Indianapolis if you want to get it. Marzak trying to do just that, trying to look to the inside of the Season 4 champion. Unable to get a run to the inside, but they're stacking up behind Delio. As John Andrews looks to the inside, cannot make the pass on Marzak and remains single file to the top 4. With this going on, it is allowing them to pull away from the rest of the field. Alexander Rowe up to 5th. Emily Anderson, Nicholas Samedeo, Mitchell Henderson, and Wyatt Quayle moving his way through the field. And here is John Arndt, Season 6 winner here in Indianapolis and winner of the Freedom 50 special event we had here back in May. He also won the finale in the IROC series. He's won here 3 separate times at least on Napa Fan in his 20-win career. Right now, he's just outside the top 10, running in the 12th position for Elijah Gordon Incorporated. Of course, that team does not have a chance at the Owners' Championship, but this team does. Wade Enterprises trying to get John Andrews to the lead as Marzak takes it away from Matt Delio. Marzak with the run to the inside. And the new race leader in the Rays, Dies, and Tubing 400 is Josh Marzak in the number 34. Another battle right here. Nicholas Samedeo and Mitchell Henderson. Of course, Samedeo wants to get his second win of the season. Won 2 weeks ago at Talladega. He is going to get passed there by Mitchell Henderson. Mitchell Henderson won at Kansas earlier this season. Justin Roberts has won a race this season in Richmond. So has Wyatt Quayle. He won in Las Vegas. Pocono was won by John Arndt. And of all the tracks we go to on the circuit, that is the most similar racetrack to Indianapolis. So Watch out for John Arndt, second in the points, trying to become the runner-up in the championship for this season. Of course, as we have mentioned, the championship is already clinched. Nathan Baird will be your champion. Of course, he already is your champion. He doesn't even have to start the next race, and he will win the championship regardless. Doing a good job right now, 16th right now, but he's going for the Indianapolis win, his third win of the season. But the battle is on for second in the points, and I think a lot of these guys want to get it because they know that's as high as they can go. Guys like John Arndt, Wyatt Quayle, Mark Davison, and Justin Roberts all in that fight, and three of those guys right up here right now. Back to the race lead. Marzak continuing to lead here in Indianapolis for second. Matt Dallio on Matthew Phillips. Dallio does not want this opportunity to slip away. Like I mentioned, it has been over 2 years since Matt Dallio has won a race on Napa Fan. This would be a huge race to break that losing streak at. Phillips almost in the outside wall as they're almost 3 wide down the backstretch. 3 wide here at Indianapolis is very dangerous. They usually do not get out of it without an incident. So I would not be surprised if we saw a 3 wide situation cause a wreck here today if we were to get a 3 wide situation. Emily Anderson is up to the 3rd position. Here comes Mitchell Henderson rolling to the inside lane. Here comes Matthew Phillips. Nobody able to get to the inside of Emily Anderson as she continues to hold on to the 3rd position. Phillips will clear Mitchell Henderson. Here comes Alexander Rowe on the inside, and we are starting to see these guys really cycle through. There is 3 wide through the corner. John Andrews really got shuffled at a line. Sam Adio and Roger Ray move to the inside of him along with Tristan Allen. And Andrews is going to fall back outside the top 10. Couple of drivers who are really moving their way through the field very nicely. John Arndt, Roger Ray, Tristan Allen starting to creep up inside the top 10 here. Watch out for those drivers, all trying to get the race victory here today. Right now it's between Marzak and Dallio, quarter of the way through the Rays, Dyes, and Tubing 400 from Indianapolis. Marzak has led the most laps so far in this race. Matt Dallio, the only other leader in this event so far. Emily Anderson running 3rd, Matthew Phillips and Alexander Rowe. That is the top 5 at the moment. Here comes Dallio with a run to the inside of Marzak for the race lead. I'm surprised at how clean this race has been. We've actually seen this race in past years become a demolition derby at times. But they are simply racing it out here at Indianapolis, and it's great to see a race play out here at Indianapolis, which means, especially if this thing goes caution-free, it's going to be one of these top-running drivers who gets the race victory because it's difficult to work your way from the back to the front here in Indianapolis, especially at this point when the field spreads out. Dallio was unable to complete the pass on Marzak, but he's going to have a run to the inside entering turn number 1. And with that, Matt Dallio is going to take the lead back from the driver of American Motorsports, Josh Marzak. So Dallio back to the point here in Indianapolis on lap 10 of 32. Matthew Phillips currently runs 3rd. Alexander Rowe trying to get his 2nd win of the season. He won at the beginning of August in the Rockingham, UK race. It was about a month ago when he won that event overseas, but he's got a great opportunity at a huge win here today. There's Justin Roberts in the 38 moving to the inside of Wyatt Quayle, Mitchell Henderson as well. And how about the EGI teammates of Emily Anderson and John Arndt. Elijah Gordon does not drive anymore, and we have a wreck on the racetrack. Caution out, lap number 10. John Andrews and I saw Lucas Jacobson as well. A disaster for Wade Enterprises in this event. Daniel McMillan all torn up. Sam Adio with heavy damage. He's not going to win here today. Nathan Stapleton, Indiana native. This is one race I know he would love to win. I don't know if he was caught up or not. But our first caution of the day here in the Rays, Dyes and Tubing 400 in Indianapolis. And it looks like a multi-car accident occurring on lap 10. And this is going to get extremely interesting with pit strategy. You see Jonathan Finicki coming down the pit lane. This is an opportunity for these guys to come down. I mean, most of these guys are going to come down at this point, but they're coming down right where the fuel window is to make it to the end of the race. A lot of these guys would probably have to hope for another caution if they're going to make it to the end. And, of course, it's very possible we could end up with another caution in this race. However, things have just gotten very interesting because they're going to come down. They're going to cross the start-finish line with 13... No, excuse me, I'm really wrong about that. They're going to cross the line with 20 laps to go, and that is right at the fuel window here at Indianapolis. And with all the caution laps they're going to have to start off, that might save them enough fuel to make it to the end. But if this thing stays green from here on out, we could see a fuel mileage race play out here in Indianapolis. And we saw that happen at Nashville. We saw that happen at Bristol. We'll have to see if it happens here today. Those have pretty much been the only two races that have turned out as fuel mileage races. We've not had a big problem with that this year like we did last year. But still we've had a couple of instances where that has occurred. Matt Dalio, the leader of the race, has the first pit stall, so Dalio should get off the pit lane in the first position. I'd expect a lot of these guys to take 2 tires as well, because it is difficult to run around here on worn tires. And Marzak is off the pit lane, but Dalio will beat him off. Matt Dalio, Josh Marzak, Alexander Rowe, Justin Roberts, and Matthew Phillips. The top 5 off the pit lane. Dalio will lead the field to the green flag. When we get back to racing here in the Rays Dies and Tubing 400 from Indianapolis. Oh, this is what occurred right here. Sam Adio in the 48 with a terrible entry into turn number 2, allowing a 3-wide situation to occur. And I believe he might have cut down. You actually see Julius Anderson slid up in the Andrews here. And this was a terrible scenario for all of these drivers, especially John Andrews and Nicholas Amadio. You see Julius Anderson with the damage to his race car, but back in here, Andrews practically stops on the racetrack because of this. Ahead of these guys, Cody Sill gets in the Nicholas Amadio, and they shuffle back in there. But right here, Daniel McMillan runs right into the rear of John Andrews. Lucas Jacobson and Nathan Stapleton have nowhere to go. Then ahead of all this, you see Jonathan Skimnicki, Seth Cole, and Cody Sill all go around down the backstretch. Very unfortunate accident for all of these drivers, especially Andrews and Sam Adio, who were up front for a majority of this race up to this point. They're all going to be taken out here. A lap 10 crash and the Rays Dies in Tubing 400. Replay this in real time, and they just get into each other through turn 2. That is the trouble spot, and you see Andrews. He just stops right on the racetrack. McMillan cannot see him, and he absolutely has nowhere to go in the 75 as he runs right into the 04, collecting Jacobson and Stapleton in the process. And one last time, we will follow with Nicholas Amadio. Hard into the outside wall. Winner from 2 weeks ago is not going to win today. Cody Sill's actually the one who got shuffled out of line. And you see Skimnicki get into him and Seth Cole have nowhere to go. Thankfully, that little skirmish right there was not as violent as the one behind them. But still, Skimnicki is out of the race. And a lot of these guys are not going to be in contention for the race victory here at Indianapolis. Matt Dalio won the race back to the line and also won the race off the pit lane. Let's see what he does on the restart. Here in the Rays Dies in Tubing 400, a crown jewel event in Season 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the 2019 Rays Dies in Tubing 400 from Indianapolis. One of the crown jewel events of the season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and since the championship has already been clinched with Nathan Baird winning it last week, I should say, at Darlington, it is all about the race victory here today as it runs as if it was an exhibition event. Matt Dalio, winless since 2017 on Napa Fan, started on the pole for this race. So far, he has led the most laps here in Indianapolis. Currently leading in the number 79, right behind him, Josh Marzak in the 34, the only other leader of this race. Only 2 different leaders so far. Alexander Rowe, Justin Roberts, Matthew Phillips, Wyatt Quayle, John Art, Mitchell Henderson, Emily Anderson, and Tristan Allen round out the top 10. Back to racing, lap 15 of 32. The big question, will they be able to make it to the end of the race without another stop? We expected the fuel window to be about 20 laps, and that is exactly when they came down under the yellow flag. Back to racing, Matt Delio. Stays single file ahead of Josh Marzak. Roberts looks on Alexander Rowe, cannot make the move. Marzak looking to the inside of Delio. Delio will clear and remain as the race leader. Drivers out of the race include Silas Orta. We see Nathan Baird on the pit lane. He has also had an issue. Silas Orta must have had a mechanical issue as well. Drivers out of the race because of the accident include John Andrews, Jonathan Skibnicki, Daniel McMillan, and Lucas Jacobson. Everybody else still on the lead lap here at Indianapolis. Roberts got shuffled out of line as Phillips got to the inside of Wyatt Quayle, the rookie, and Mitchell Henderson, also the rookie, moving their way through the field. Nathan Baird going to get back on the racetrack here. Must have had a tire go down or something as the yellow is back out. And another wreck here at Indianapolis. Seth Cole, Patrick Smith going around. Sam Adio again. Alonso involved this time. Sebastian Kukulon, Julius Anderson again. And I see Michael Canto on the apron as well. I do not know if he was involved or not. But that made it a little bit easier for Matt Delio to stay up front, and it made it a little bit easier for these guys to make it to the end of the race on fuel. However, will we see guys take tires? Will we see a little bit of strategy here? We're going to wire these guys around to come down the pit lane if they so choose. We will cross the halfway point of this race when we cross the line the next time by. So halfway to the Rays Dies and Tubing 400 from Indianapolis with Matt Delio, your race leader, in the number 79. And it does appear that he is going to come down the pit lane. Actually, he is not going to come down. Josh Marzak and Alexander Rowe decide to come down. We have a few takers, and this is where things are going to exceptionally get interesting. Because if this many guys are going to come down with this split strategy, the thought might be that they might not be able to make it to the end of the race. So quite a few guys staying out here. Matt Delio included. He wants to win this race. I can tell you that much. We'll just have to see what he can do. But a lot of these guys coming down the pit lane here. Looks like it's gas and go. They want to make sure they can make it. And, you know, nobody has anything to lose because the championship is out of question with Nathan Baird clinching it. These guys are going to play a little strategy, possibly get the race victory if it becomes a fuel mileage race. So Josh Marzak taking the top position of the guys who just came down. John Art also topped off. Emily Anderson, Alexander Rowe, Diego Yepes, Turner, Fitzwater, and a lot of guys from the back also came down. A good 15 guys stayed out there under that caution, including our race leader, Matt Delio. So, we're going to go ahead, review the second accident of the day, bringing out the second caution of the day here in the Rays Dies and Tubing 400. And we'll get back to the restart here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the 27th race of Season 8 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Well, coming off of turn number 4, Hergelarvan Alonso spinning into Patrick Smith, and can be thankful that that happened when it did and not earlier, when those guys could have easily slid in to the pit road wall. You see all the smoke ensuing right there. Alonso spinning around, Patrick Smith going around, Kukulon coming back up into Julius Anderson and Seth Cole. And you see the rest then ensues right there. Such a tough break for Hergelarvan Alonso. Been a very tough season. This will probably be Alonso's final season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. You see Cody Sill barely avoiding the 13 there. And Julius Anderson as well. That was some awesome driving by Cody Sill to avoid both of those drivers who were exceptionally slow on the racetrack. And two-time winner this season, Patrick Smith, getting spun off of Alonso into the inside wall down the front straightaway. And Alonso took a very hard hit to the inside wall right there. And Kukulon came back up on Anderson and Seth Cole. But you see, I don't think Sam Adia was actually involved. He just still had the damage from the prior accident. And you see Cody Sill right there in the 37, avoided all of that. Great job out of Cody Sill to avoid that accident right there. So, now the big question is, how is the rest of the race going to play out for our race leaders? We would believe that the rest of the field can make it on their tank of gas that they have, but with those guys coming down and topping off, we had about a 50-50 split of those guys coming down. Should Matt Dalio, Matthew Phillips, these guys who have stayed out, should they be worried about being able to make it to the end of the race? We'll have to see. We'll get to the restart here at Indianapolis, and the race dies in tubing 400. We are back here in Indianapolis, and major development. Matthew Phillips, Velocity Racing driver, with a mechanical issue here on lap 18 of 32. We expect to get one to go next time by. But Matthew Phillips, who would have restarted second right behind our race leader, Matt Dalio, is most likely going to fail to finish here today at Indianapolis. Such a heartbreaker there for Matthew Phillips in this one. And it got just a little bit easier there for Matt Dalio in the 79. He's going to have Wyatt Quayle behind him. So that's one less guy Dalio has to worry about. So the guys who came down, they begin with Josh Marzak. Marzak will be restarting in the 16th position. So there's a very good chance that Marzak and John Arndt could work their way to the front of the field on this next green flag run. We'll have to see what they can do, however. I don't know if that's going to be the case. And a lot of guys, including a multiple lap down, or should I say just one lap down, Nathan Baird, running in the 35th position. He'll move up eventually to 34th. I think even Michael Canto had an issue in the number 12 machine. I do not see him on the racetrack anymore, so that are two Velocity Racing drivers right there with issues, one right after another. That did not work out well for Matt Tuck's team. Wade Enterprises had a tough one. They still have Alexander Rowe out there in Velocity Racing. Their only driver left in the field would be the 35 of Andrew Ross, and he's kind of been a nobody today in this race. Deep in the field right there. However, he was, I think, one of those drivers who did top off, so he could end up with a strong finish here today. We'll just have to see which strategy will end up winning, because I don't think those guys are going to have a chance if the rest of the field can make it to the end. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out. Matt Dalio, the race leader, in the number 79 alongside him, or should I say behind him. We don't do double file restarts here, and I love single file restarts. I'm a huge advocate for single file restarts. Number 33, Wyatt Quayle, going to restart second. Justin Roberts, Mitchell Henderson, Tristan Allen. We talk about all these other drivers with long losing streaks and whatnot, and this guy has the longest in history. At this point, over 170 straight points races without a race win. He's got a bit of an opportunity here today, and we don't know if Allen will be returning next season. He's another one of those guys who's kind of on the fence about returning, so we'll have to see what he can do in this one. Trey Bartow, Roger Ray, Mark Davidson, Julio Caesar, uncharted driver, trying to get Zidell Motorsports some points here. Actually, yeah, also got Roger Ray ahead of him there. And then the number 81, Ace Garcia, rounding out the top 10. Pace car is in. Lap 20 of 32, 13 laps to go, and the Rays dies in tubing 400 for Matt Dalio in the number 79. Wyatt Quayle's going to look to the inside, cannot make the move. Here comes Justin Roberts. He will be unable to get to the inside of Wyatt Quayle, but he's going to push Quayle to the inside. No, Dalio clears on the high lane. A power move there to Matt Dalio. Quayle will remain behind the 79. Here comes Justin Roberts for second. That side-by-side battle will allow Dalio to pull away. Here comes Allen trying to get to the inside of Mitchell Henderson, unable to do so. Roberts will clear for second as Matt Dalio pulls away again in the number 79. Trey Bartow to the inside, trying to get on Tristan Allen, unable to make the move. Roger Ray, Mark Davidson, everybody remaining single file here at Indianapolis. Is that what you want to do in this race? Yellow back out, and it definitely is. Because this is what could happen already. Our third caution of the race, and Patrick Smith impaled the pit road wall. Sebastian Cucalon also involved. Cody Sills, the same drivers getting involved in every single accident here today. And this will allow Dalio to save more gas. And at this point, I would venture to say that they would be able to make it to the end. We'd have to hope for that. We want to see a good race without any screwy pit stops or anything like that at the end. Wouldn't want that to happen to our Chick-fil-A Cup Series drivers. Matt Dalio doing all he possibly can to win this race. He's been doing a great job on these restarts. They've been battling for a second. He's been able to pull away at the right times. And we've had two very short green flag runs right there, which has kept him in the race lead. But another accident here. San Mateo might have gotten a bit of this one. Cody Sill as well. I would expect everyone to be staying out here. And if they're not coming down now, they should be good to go on fuel. So that strategy is not going to work out for guys like Marzak and John Arndt. So we'll have to see how it all plays out as this thing finishes up here. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the third caution of the day here in the Rays Dies and Tubing 400 from Indianapolis. This was through turn number 4, and Sebastian Cucalon forced the issue there. And, of course, Patrick Smith had Cody Sill to his outside. And Smith is the one who actually instigates this. He gets into Cody Sill. He actually slid up into him. Cody Sill's going to hit the inside wall past the pit road. Cucalon also hits the pit road wall along with Patrick Smith. Somehow, though, I think Cucalon might have actually gotten back out there. Nah, he couldn't have. He couldn't have. But you see Cody Sill spinning in the pit lane. And that is one thing about this place. You spin off of turn number 4. That pit road wall is right there waiting for you. And you see what happens. And unfortunately, Patrick Smith in the pit road wall here at Indianapolis. Only going to replay this one more time. Cody Sill, wrong place, wrong time, hard in the inside wall, and you see what happens to the rest of those drivers. Cucalon and Patrick Smith absolutely destroyed. And both of those drivers will be out of the race. Other than that, it was actually a very orderly restart and a very orderly green flag lap there because most of these drivers remain single file. Hopefully they can remain to do the same as the rest of this race moves on. Matt Dalio has led the most laps. He should end up leading the most laps total today. I think he's probably gone past 16 at this point. So it's Matt Dalio who's going to lead the field back to green. Let's see what he does on the restart in the Rays Dies and Tubing 400 from Indianapolis. Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, we are going to restart with 8 laps to go. And we've had quite a few caution laps here today in this event. Caution after caution after caution right in the middle of this race. But we hope to finish this thing out under green. And with all of these caution laps, we should expect these drivers to be able to remain on the racetrack until the finish without having to come back down the pit lane. A tough break for drivers like Josh Marzak, John Arndt, and Emily Anderson, who were up front earlier on, came down under the second caution in fear that they would have to come down again later on in the event. But after this third caution, these drivers should be able to make it without another stop. That includes leader Matt Dalio, who's going to lead us to the green flag restart. He's been the leader for every start and restart except the first restart when Marzak led, and eventually Dalio was able to surpass him after that one. Actually, no. Dalio actually has been the leader for every restart and start. Marzak was not the leader during that. He only led a few laps during the first green flag run, so I am incorrect by that. Dalio has led and been at the front of the field for every start and restart for this race, so he knows how to get it done at this point, but he's got a veteran right behind him, Justin Roberts. And you know Roberts is going to have something for this 79. Wyatt Quayle, Mitchell Henderson, Tristan Allen, Trey Bartow, Roger Ray, Mitchell Henderson, Julio Cesar, Ace Garcia. Pretty much the same top 10 as it was on the last restart, only Justin Roberts and Wyatt Quayle switched places on that last green flag run. Green flag back in the air at Indianapolis. 8 laps to go in the Rays Dies and Tubing 400 for Matt Dalio in the number 79, and already a battle for second. That is exactly what Dalio wants to see in his rearview mirror. Wyatt Quayle to the inside, going to take that position back from Justin Roberts. However, Quayle was able to clear very quickly, and he might have a shot at Matt Dalio down the backstretch. Mitchell Henderson, Tristan Allen, Trey Bartow in the number 4. Will Bartow make it 3 wide? He will suffice and stay behind the 3, but Allen will move up to the 4th position. Dalio remaining out front in the number 79. He's going to lead yet another lap here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will he be able to lead the most important one here today? Wyatt Quayle, Mitchell Henderson, Tristan Allen. That is the top 4. Bartow looking to take 5th away from Justin Roberts. He clears for the position. It's a scuffle back in here. Hopefully they keep it together. Thankfully they will. Julio Cesar darting down to the inside of his teammate. That was a close move right there. It is getting very edgy back in the field. But up front, orderly and, well, not single file all the way as a battle for second enrages between Mitchell Henderson and Wyatt Quayle. Here comes Tristan Allen and Trey Bartow, both of those drivers hungry for a race victory in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Allen trying to make a move on Wyatt Quayle, but Quayle trying to hold the outside. He will succeed in doing so. Matt Dalio remaining out front. Now with 6 laps to go at Indianapolis. Bartow on Tristan Allen. That is for the 4th position. And Bartow will easily take it away from the number 3. Ace Garcia, Mark Davidson, Riley Spurley, Julio Cesar, Christian Master back in the field. We head back to the lead. Matt Dalio holding on. Mitchell Henderson in second. Wyatt Quayle trying to move his way back to the 2nd position. The more they battle for second, the easier the win will be for Matt Dalio in the number 79. I've never really seen this kind of dominance out of a driver at a place where passing is rather frequent at times. But all of these cautions have definitely helped Dalio in remaining out front, and all of this battling for second place, they can't seem to stop battling for that position. There goes Wyatt Quayle, and Bartow might get a free position here as well, as Henderson is stuck on the outside lane. And keep in mind, this is Titan Fury Motorsports right here, the points leader in the Owners' Championship, moving their way through the field with their driver Trey Bartow. Bartow up to the 3rd position. Tristan Allen will move up to the 4th position. We're coming to 4 laps to go in the Rays Dyson Tubing 400. Matt Dalio has been the dominant guy of the day. He has led over 20 laps up to this point, but still has to earn this win as Wyatt Quayle, looking for the biggest win of his career, tries to get to the 79. Trey Bartow is trying to win his 2nd Indianapolis win. Tristan Allen in the number 3 also in contention, and if the cards fall correctly, we could be seeing Bartow and Allen have a shot for this race victory. But it seems to be rather difficult to work your way to the back bumper of the race leader, because Matt Dalio has one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. However, Trey Bartow might have a car that could contend for that race lead. If he can get around Wyatt Quayle, we could be seeing a huge battle between 2 8-season veterans of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Bartow trying to get a run on Wyatt Quayle, as we now have only 3 laps to go at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Matt Dalio continues to lead the Rays Dyson Tubing 400. The battle is for second. Trey Bartow and Wyatt Quayle continue to rage on. They're all on Matt Dalio. Dalio up the racetrack just a little bit. Here comes Wyatt Quayle. Will he make the move to the inside? Will Bartow make a move for second? Bartow knows that his best chance at winning this race is if Wyatt Quayle goes for the race lead, but he cannot wait any longer. Bartow to the inside for second. And Bartow will not be able to clear Wyatt Quayle. Matt Dalio pulling away. Here comes Trey Bartow. Trey Bartow clears for the 2nd position. 2 laps to go at Indianapolis for Matt Dalio in the number 79. This is one legendary battle for the race win at one legendary racetrack. 2 of the longest running drivers on Napa Fan, Matt Dalio and Trey Bartow, 1-2 with 2 laps to go. Will Bartow have anything for the driver of the number 79? Or will Matt Dahlia ride off into the sunset with his most dominant victory of his career? They're coming to the white flag here in the raised eyes and tubing 400 in Indianapolis. Trey Bartow with a great run through turn number 3. Bartow will have a chance at the race victory here today. White flag in the flagman's hands at Indianapolis. 1 lap to go for Matt Dahlia at the Brickyard. Matt Dahlia has now won a Napa Fan race in over 2 years. Will he be able to hold off the legendary Trey Bartow for the race victory? Bartow closing back in. He is going to have a chance. Wyatt Quill is also here in the number 33. You need to watch out for the rookie battling with these veterans. Bartow could not hold the back bumper through turn number 2. Wyatt Quayle is staying behind the number 4 of Trey Bartow. Will Bartow get a run through turn number 3, or will Matt Dahlia stay out front? Bartow's going to try. He's going to have a run on the outside lane, but he will not have enough to get to the inside. Matt Dahlia has waited so long for this moment. It's been over 2 years, but he's finally going to go back to victory lane on Napa Fan. His 7th career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. Matt Dahlia wins the raised eyes and tubing 400 at Indianapolis. The first win for Outer Island Motorsports in basically their entire existence since they changed their name from last season. Matt Dahlia, his first Napa Fan win since June of 2017. The 2-year losing streak for the Season 4 Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion is over. Matt Dahlia in victory lane at Indianapolis. They could not catch him here today. He was determined to win the race, and he did just that. Trey Bartow gave him one heck of a fight for that win, but could not get around him. And Matt Dahlia, that one was well-deserved. An absolute clinic he put on here at Indianapolis, winning the pole. And while he did not lead every lap of the race, once he got around Josh Marzak early on, it was game over. Nobody could get around him for the finish of the event. And Matt Dahlia going to victory lane here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And I gotta be honest with you, considering that we had hardly any passing in that race, it was still one heck of a race because you did not know if Bartow could get to the inside. There were so many chances for Quayle and Bartow to get to the inside of Dahlia. They could not get to him in time. And if this race was a little bit longer, I think we probably would have seen a lead change. But Dahlia simply had that car on rails here today, and they could not get around him. And Matt Dahlia going to victory lane here at Indianapolis. It's been a great season. I mean, we had Bartow win, we had Sam Medea win, we had Dahlia win. And I know I love these guys. These guys have been racing on Napa Fan forever. They mean so much to me because they've been part of the channel forever. You know, and as my life has changed in so many ways, it's just so awesome to see these guys still compete. They remind me of the good old days when I was still in high school and did 10 races a day. It's just so cool to see these guys still be competitive and see them win. And it truly is a privilege to see them win, especially considering Matt Dahlia, who has not won in over 2 years, finally in victory lane once again in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series as he holds on and defeats everyone in the field. It's just strange seeing his name on the first leader, on the top of the leaderboard. It's just so surreal to see that because it has not happened in so long. I went through an entire 2 years at college and earned an associate's degree in accounting in between the 2 wins Matt Dahlia has had in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series and on Napa Fan. That is how long it has been for Dahlia since he's last won, but he has finally done so again. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. Cody Sill, Kukalon, Patrick Smith, Matthew Phillips, Michael Canto, Herja Larvin Alonso, Seth Cole, Silas Orta, John Andrews, Jonathan Skimnicki, Daniel McMillan, and Lucas Jacobson all failing to finish from accidents here today. And it means a lot to me to see Matt Dalio win, and I understand, I am showing a bit of a bias towards, my drivers and things like that, but like I mentioned, it means so much because these guys have been racing for the entire existence of the channel, and they've been part of my life for so long, and it means so much for me to see them still compete and still win, and it does not happen often, and, for me, I need to cherish it, and I hope you guys, don't take it as, oh, I'm just making them win. I am not. That was a perfectly legitimate win. The ratings are equal as they always are, and it's just, for me, it's very special because this could be the last time I see Matt Dalio win a race. I want to take it in like it is his final win because you never know. It took him 2 years to get a race victory. That could be his last one here today. I just don't know. But congratulations to Matt Dalio, your race winner here in Indianapolis, his 7th career Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory. And I think it might be his 17th career Napa fan win as well. But you got to remember, it has been over 2 years since he has won a race on this channel. They are going to be celebrating north of the border here today. Matt Dalio, your race winner here in Indianapolis in the Raised Eyes and Tubing 400. Thank you guys so much for watching here today. I had such a blast recording this race. I don't think I've had this much fun recording a race in quite some time, much less a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race. And to see Matt Dalio pull this one off means so much to me. And, I know I'm showing a lot of bias here, and I shouldn't be. But I want you to understand just how much it does mean to me because, like I mentioned, so many things have changed in my life, but to see some things stay constant, like these guys competing here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, it's just refreshing, it's heartwarming, and I can't thank these guys enough for sticking with me all this time. They're the biggest supporters of the channel, and I just don't know how much to thank them. I'm so thankful for him. That's just all there is to it. Guys like Dalio, guys like Bartow, Turner, all of these guys who have been around for every season, it means a lot. And to see Dalio win, this means a lot to me. That's just all there is to it. I'm going to leave it at that. Congratulations to Matt Dalio on his race victory, with Bartow finishing 2nd in this race. It's probably all but going to clinch Titan Fury in the Owners' Championship. You will see the point standings once we are done here today. But the Owners' Championship might be done there with Titan Fury getting that great run with their veteran driver, Trey Bartow. And once again, we thank you guys so much for watching here today. Please don't get mad at me for being so happy for Matt Dalio. It means a lot, like I said, and that could be his last win, so take it in. It's like Dale Jr. winning his last race. That's how Matt Dalio is to the channel. He's like a Dale Jr. Jeff Gordon. He's one of those legendary drivers, and you just saw him win a race today. That is a privilege, and you should be thankful for it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for all the support. The finale in Season 8 next week, Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It's actually going to be a day race at Homestead. First time we've actually done a day race there, but still, nonetheless, going to have fun with the finale, the Chick-fil-A 500. That's another race Matt Dalio has actually won before. We'll have to see how that all goes down for the rest of the field. And of course, the Turkey Hill Truck Series begins next Friday night from Daytona. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Matt Dalio. And here are the championship standings for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series after 27 races. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you guys later!